Season 60, war number 10. Today we've matched up against Bolt, and the bands are Bastion, Sinister, Kushala, Werewolf, and Deathless Thanos. And my team today is Vox, the Maker, and Tigra. And we're going to be starting today on Path 6 against the Sersi here with Tigra. And this is rank 4 Maker debuting in war for me. Which I'm really excited for because I've been itching to play this guy for a while. Have 3 fights with him, one of which, honestly, he probably shouldn't be doing, but the other 2 are going to be really, really solid. So, we're going to start against this Sersi here, of course, and yeah, we're just taking this with Tigra. As long as I manage the falter, it should be pretty easy. She's stand your grounding me a lot, which is super annoying, but it's fine. Here, I need to go ahead and, well, not eat the special 1, but that did happen, so I got stunned, and now I'm at 3 bars, but it's fine. I believe this gives me 7 combo, so I can do a heavy attack afterwards and expect the falter, so if she drops a special 1 immediately, it's kind of perfect, and she does, so she dies right there. So yeah, that's over, and we'll go ahead and move on to fight this Captain Britain here on node 15 with Maker. He's kind of by far the best option for this fight because he is Neuroshock immune, so you don't have to worry about the fact that every time you bleed Captain Britain, she's going to place a Neuro on you and stuff. We're just going to completely get around that. So, because of the fact that Maker's burst damage is based off of his crit damage rating, it's actually a lot lower in this fight than normal because we're getting exhaustions on us constantly. But it's still going to be a pretty good fight and definitely still worth sending because of how safe he is for it. The lag was horrible there, but it's fine. We're going to go ahead and barely land a heavy attack because his spacing as heavy attacks not that great, if I'm being honest with you, but it's fine. And then we do a little burst of damage, which is honestly like half of what it should be with all these exhaustions on me from the mine. So yeah, like it should be like 60,000 damage or higher with all the boosts and stuff, so that's frustrating, but it's whatever. And I'm going to go ahead and go for my special 2 here, which is going to be a bit of a mistake because yeah, it would have killed if I didn't have all the exhaustions, but I just didn't math it right. Still getting used to playing Maker, and I have to like understand all of the math involved with him, like knowing when your special 2 is going to kill. Otherwise, you need to like do another mine trigger or go for another special 1. But she goes down in just over a minute, so it's really not even that bad. So yeah, like all the inequity and the exhaustions were really making that fight last a while, but it's not that bad. So we're going to go ahead and fight this Deathless Thanos here on 21. I've died to Deathless Thanos with Tigra before in war, but I came into this one a lot more confident, especially when I don't have to deal with a falter node. That is the reason I died last time I did it. But this one's going to go pretty smoothly. I went ahead and activated an invul boost just in case I accidentally trigger a unstoppable effect, because I feel like at one point in the fight I might mess up and that'll happen, but it's actually not going to happen, or this is going to go pretty cleanly. I'm going to have all my encroaching stun triggers managed well. I'm going to have all of his unstoppable timers managed well, and the cowardice doesn't really matter because it doesn't affect burst damage, so we obviously want to play kind of aggressively because we're Tigra, but not too aggressively to where he's going to go unstoppable or I'm not set up for the encroaching stun timer. So yeah, we're doing pretty good. He gets his last protection, and I'm just going to go ahead and chill for a moment until I get my special 1. And then he's going to throw his, maybe, or not, I guess, but I just dropped mine, and he's at 2%, and then he dies right before the relic. So he goes down, and then we're going to go ahead and fight this thing here on node 30. I'm taking this with Maker, but I don't have any idea why I didn't use Vox for this. Vox would have been so much better for this fight. Partially because Thing's energy resistance is really annoying, and, you know, Vox is doing degen, which is direct damage, so he wouldn't be subject to any of that. So yeah, this should have been a Vox fight, but it's fine. It's going to go very easily. It's just kind of long because Thing is not the best matchup for Maker because of all the energy resist he gets. So yeah, we're still gonna, you know, do some nice damage and stuff, but like I'll get the disintegration on me multiple times in this fight, and then at one point I mismanage his rock stacks, and then he's gonna have to make me hit his block to push him to a bar. So I think it's gonna be like in a moment. No, I manage it right here. And then here, yeah, I do a heavy attack, which was dumb. Like, I don't know why I did that. So now I kind of just have to do this until he eventually reaches a bar. And we have suppressions on him, which makes it even harder. I'm like, okay, well, that's horrible timing, but whatever, it's fine. And I'm going to go ahead and do my heavy attack, trigger the mine, and then the special 2 kills him. So, not too bad, but not the best thing ever. So now we're going to go fight this Onslaught here on node 41 with Maker. Again, we're Neuroshock immune, so there's like literally no threat to this fight. Neuroshock immune, Inverted Control immune. Pushing Onslaught to a special 2 and eating it is fine. Pushing Onslaught to a special 1 and eating it is fine. But obviously we're still not going to let either of those things happen. So I'm going to go ahead and do my combos and try to get to 1 bar, place that mine first, and we'll go ahead and do it right there. A very cool thing about Maker's heavy attack is it actually doesn't give him combo meter. So that means Onslaught's not even going to get the crush as fast, because yeah, we threw the heavy attack and he's still at 16, and Onslaught's crush is tied to his combo meter, so he couldn't even get it, which is really funny. So we go ahead and time the heavy attack right with the mine. With the root, I mean, and then I'm going to go for my heavy attack right here. I probably could kill him with a special 2 at this point, but I didn't trust my damage. Again, I still need to understand the math of like knowing when Maker's SP2 is going to kill. I think in hindsight it would have, but I was going to be a little bit safer and just go ahead and drop another special 1 so I'd still have the mine up, because yeah, the SP2 would get rid of it. Then he 5-hit combos my block, and it's just like, oh, well, that's annoying, but it's fine. But my special 2 definitely finishes the job. I didn't catch the burst damage. I'm going to pause the clip and see how much it was. So it was 214,000 damage, which probably wouldn't have been enough to kill him on the first, like when I talked about doing the SP2 earlier actually, so I guess I made the better call. I don't know, but yeah, it's fine. This is going to be Vox versus 44 Yelena. I've done this fight before on multiple different hazard shifts, so I'm just speeding it up because it goes the same, just longer. Yeah, Vox for Yelena on hazard shift, as long as it's the poison one, it's very easy. So we're just gonna go ahead and do the Vox things, but yeah, I just decided to speed this one up because I did it on 44 2 wars ago and did it on 27 the war before that. I mean the last war. But I do make a mistake there where I push her below 50% with my basic attacks, so she went into elimination mode. But it's fine. It's not like I really am screwed over. I just have to get her out of it. So we just hit her block a bunch, and then she decided to be passive there, which helped out a lot. And now she's in observation again, and that's 46 degens, which are just going to completely wipe out the rest of her health. And she goes down right there. So now we're going to go fight this Sentinel on node 47. I believe this is another fight that I'm going to just speed up because I've done it before. And yeah, the whole thing for this one is just kind of get to special 2, drop it for the vigilance buff, and then you're going to just want to make sure you keep the vigilance buff up because that's kind of what's saving you from the falter node here. As you can see, I do it right there. And we have the vigilance, so I can drop a special 1 to consume my degens, and then after that I need to build back to a special 2 so I can get the vigilance back, because my next special attack would be placing the buffs into debuffs. So if I did a special 1, it would be placing that vigilance on Sentinel instead of letting me keep the vigilance, so that's why we kind of need to rush back to special 2. I messed up earlier and let my degens fall off because of the unstoppable timer, but it doesn't really matter because he's completely wiped out right there. Okay, next fight is going to be Peni on node 49. This is a pretty easy fight for Vox if you use a PS1 boost. And the whole thing for this one is intentionally let your degens fall off because you need to keep DOT active. Because otherwise you won't be able to get power back in their entire fight. Because like, I'm gonna go ahead and place a degen here to get the undermine, and then I need to let it fall off and not consume it back, because if I consume it back, I'm not placing any more degens for the node to give me polka dot power, and then I would just inevitably die from power detonations. So that would be actually throwing if I consume the degen back. So yeah, we are just going to drop special ones as we get them, as long as there's no degens currently active, and then Peni's not gonna be able to do that much. So I'll go ahead and pause them there. Gonna go for a special one in a moment after those fall off, and then we'll place another like 9 or 10 degens. Yeah, 10. And then go for an intercept. She's already almost dead. She's melting very fast, and we're very healthy because not a lot of power detonations happen. So I go ahead and kill her right there, and then we'll go ahead and move on to the final boss of the war, which is going to be an RM Zola boss, which I'm taking in with Tigra. I did this last season, and this one doesn't go as cleanly, but it's still very clean. Tigra is not tactic, but she's dropping special attacks fast enough anyway that you're barely ever triggering power detonations, if ever. I went ahead and used the Maker pre-fights, but I believe they will fall off very early on, so unfortunately, yeah, it didn't really matter. I go ahead and do my heavy attack there, but it's hard to space the special one counter if you're not on the wall. That's really stupid because, like, my special one final hit landed when the passives were still up, but they didn't get refreshed because, I don't know, it's just weird how the timing works. So I feel like I should have had them, but whatever. That's just how the node works. So here we drop my special 2, and then I need to go ahead and bait this guy's special 1. If he's in the corner, we have the perfect spacing, so I need him to drop his special 1s immediately after he gets knocked down for me to have the perfect spacing. Otherwise, I'm going to need an alternative means of countering the special attack, whether it be extremely fast, letting go of my heavy charge after the final hits, or having a special attack ready, which is what I'm going to do right there. So we're going to go ahead and drop the special 2. And then I need to refresh my Primal Sense, which I believe I do right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and refresh the Huntress Sense, because it was halfway expiring already anyway, so I might as well. And then I know the spacing isn't right, so I'm just going to do that. And I was planning on dropping my Relic if I needed to, but I noticed he was not trying to counter, so it ended up being okay. And there I just, yeah. I couldn't drop my Relic in time, I guess. The game decided I couldn't, but that's fine. And then I'm going to go ahead and do this, and then we're going to do one more, and then a double special 1, which I think brings him to like 2%, and then another heavy attack will kill him, or the Ruptures maybe. Yeah, the Ruptures do it. So there we go. That's my war, and we did beat Bolt 12-8, so GG's to Bolt. That leaves us still in 4th place and 7-3 on the season. So I think we've locked top 10, even if we lose our next 2, but we're definitely still going to play to win the next 2, for sure. So anyway, GG's to Bolt. Thank you guys all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.